backyard. By IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. And by Acura. Acura Advance. It's an overcast day here in Seattle. A little bit of a chilly evening, but the roof is open at Safeco Field. Charlie Furbush is taking his warm-ups, and we'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup that he's going to face, and it's presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, an 11-game hitting streak, leads off. Batting second, playing right field, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira's at first base, he'll hit third. Cleaning up second baseman Robinson Cano. Jesus Montero will DH, he'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Andrew Jones. Russell Martin is back in the lineup, he'll catch, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing third base, Eduardo Nunez. And Brett Gardner in center field will bat ninth. Yankees come in at 89 and 57. And they lead the Red Sox by 4 games in the American League East, their largest lead of the year. Jeter's ready. Furbush is ready. And let's do it here in Seattle. First pitch is grounded up the middle, a base hit, and a 12-game hitting streak now for Derek Jeter.
Well, that's quick. First pitch, base hit up the middle. Nice little approach for Derek Jeter. We saw that last night with King Felix jumping early in the count. Let's take a look at Charlie Furbush. The 70 innings, 28 walks, 74 hits. He was in the Doug Fister trade. They're looking to see what he'll do for the Seattle Mariners. Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scouter report. Command issue. He is a guy that will be all over the place, but I'll tell you, his last start was pretty good down in Anaheim. He's got good stuff, 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball, good slider. Get him early. How about this? First inning, 9 ERA. Michael, after that, not much better, 5.55. And pitching for a spot. Well, I mentioned about the possibility of him pitching for next year in the rotation.
Ground ball grabbed there by Furbush, and he throws it to second, one on. The first, it's a double play. That's a nice play by the shortstop, Ryan. Saved an error for Furbush.
You know, a pitcher will get a line drive back, and they think they have to rush it. Here, he doesn't really get his feet underneath him and just hooks it. He's kind of got a sidearm sling anyway. That ends up being a nice play by Brendan Ryan, the shortstop. Watch here, a little side, nice little one-hopper right back at him. Take his time, he ends up hooking it. Look at Brendan Ryan to keep his foot on the base.
There's Mark Teixeira. We just showed you his numbers here at Safeco Field. He takes a strike. 10-game hitting streak here at Safeco. 37 home runs, 104 ribbies. Could not hold up, and the count is 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Just missed.
Wow. Tim Timmons, the home plate umpire. I guess he got that ball on the inside part of the plate. Let's take a look. You see Olivo setting up his glove. Pretty close.
Grounded foul. Well, the Tampa Bay Rays finally lost. They lost to the Orioles 4-2. So their pursuit of the Red Sox hits a little bit of a speed bump as the Red Sox are beating up on Toronto 18-5 in the ninth. So if that score holds up, the Red Sox will have a 4-game lead over Tampa Bay. Remember, they start a 4-game set with the Rays at Fenway starting on Thursday. 2-2. Grounded. Foul.
Does Wakefield, is he pitcher of record?
Yes, he is. So he gets his 200th first victory since July.
Wow. Big relief for Terry Francona, but now with the injuries, could be a guy that they will continue to have to lean on a little bit, even though 6 innings, 5 runs.
And the lefty deals the 2-2. 3-2.
A little cooler tonight as it gets dark here out in the Pacific Northwest. Beautiful stadium.
Swing and miss, took something off that pitch, and Teixeira weighed out in front. No runs are hit, no errors because of the double play. Nobody left. Yankees nothing. And the Mariners coming to bat against AJ.
An airline's job is to take you from where you are to where you need to be. And we're not just talking about points on a map. With a more intuitive Delta website and mobile app and the most Wi-Fi equipped planes, we let you be everywhere at once. Innovations like these are extending our reach so that you can extend yours. And now, even at 30,000 feet, you can still touch the ground.
This city was once nicknamed the Paris of the Midwest. And now this city's most promising new car comes with a beautiful interior, leather seats, and French stitching.
By HP. Ichiro Suzuki in right field will lead off. Batting second, playing third is Kyle Seager. His college teammate Dustin Ackley at second base will bat third. Cleaning up left fielder Mike Karp. Justin Smoke at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching Miguel Olivo. Adam Kennedy, the veteran DH, will hit seventh. Batting eighth and playing center field Casper Wells. A lot of kids on this team. And the shortstop is Brendan Ryan. He's in a bad ninth.
Yeah, this is a rookie-heavy team now that the season's winding out for the Seattle Mariners. A.J. Burnett on the mound, making his 30th start of the year. 34-year-old right-hander. Talked about it in the open, about him changing his delivery a bit. You see the ERA of 5.27, high. 78 walks, 172 innings. Let's take a look at the G Pitchers scouting report. Watch the heater. How about this? Batting average against A.J. Burnett, 326 on his fastball. Slug of almost 600%. His curveball, 144 batting average against, and they miss it 40% of the time. League average is 27. One pitch at a time. That's the thing with A.J. For every pitcher, every pitch matters. And double digits. If he wins tonight, he'll have 10 wins or more for the 7th year in a row.
So A.J. trying to bounce back from a less than sparkling outing against the Orioles, although he pitched tough against the Red Sox previous to that. Here's Ichiro, picked up a hit in yesterday's game, 31 hits away from 200. Trying to do that for the 11th straight season. And there's a strike. Tim Timmons calling balls and strikes. Seattle 61 and 86 on the season, so a disappointing season for them. Ichiro's not disappointed that AJ's on the mound, 9 for 21 against the Yankee right-hander, lifetime. You talk to a lot of people in Seattle, and the general feeling is that they can see a real drop in Ichiro, that he's really slowed down. He's not the same player that he once was, and that means both offensively and defensively. 169 hits, though. 31 away. He's 37 years old. Swing and miss. Also, Martin scrambles after it, and he will tag out Ichiro for the first out. Well, we'll take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, Andrew Jones, Brett Gardner, and Nick Swisher left to right. Granderson getting a night off. Infield, Nunez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira third to first. Martin behind the plate, and Alan James Burnett is on the mound.
You know, talking about Ichiro, 37 years old, and you're right, people around watching the Mariners for years, 10 years in a row of the 200-plus hits.
Bunted foul. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 65 degrees, 64% humidity, not much wind, and it's cloudy. It has not been a beautiful Pacific Northwest sort of day, although they have a lot of these sorts of days. The summer, though, is just breathtaking here. The 0-1. 1-1. You know, in the years that I've been coming here, I guess I've been lucky, Al. The weather always seems to be gorgeous. But you do hear reports that in the winter it's kind of dreary and dark and overcast and it rains a lot. The 1-1.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Folks, if you've ever been here in the summertime when it's sunny, beautiful mountain range in the back, this is one of the prettier cities in the United States. And the ballpark here, Michael, I don't know how you feel about it. I think this is one of the nicer ballparks in Major League Baseball.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's one of my favorites. They did everything right. Here's the 1-2 to Seager. 2-2. Well, Russell Martin's been dealing with a sore left thumb. That's a glove hand. And a sore right thumb. And if he wanted a pitcher to really test it out, he's got the pitcher on the mound. AJ makes him work. Bounces a lot of pitches up there. Tough guy to catch.
About 23 wild pitches, leads Major League Baseball. Yeah, there's no doubt. And tough because, you know, Yankee fans have been watching enough. It is a command issue with AJ for any pitcher, but he's got a curveball. And I said with the scout report that is nearly unhittable, as good as anybody. 40% of the time when he throws it, it's swing and miss. And 144 batting average. Most of the time it's in the dirt.
That one hits Seager. So Seager takes first base.
Just trying to come inside with a fastball. Misses by a couple feet. Not trying to do that. A 2-2 count. Watch here. He just gets around it. Ends up hooking it. Missing big. Call that a little hook ball.
And here's Dustin Ackley.
Dustin Ackley, their big #1 draft pick a couple years ago. They see big things for him. Think of him as a kind of a Chase Utley kind of player, they think.
There's a strike.
Played outfield at UNC, University of North Carolina. Hurt his arm. He was playing first and DH. Second base is new to him. He's getting comfortable every day, working there.
Missed outside, 2-1.
Couple pitches now early on. I thought that first changeup to Dustin Ackley looked like a pretty good pitch. Tim Timmons, the home plate umpire. So far, it looks pretty tight strike zone. But early on, both pitchers, if that's that you want to know the strike zone for a respective umpire. The worst thing about a pitcher or hitter is that the umpire's plate moves.
Count 3-1. Right now, AJ's pitches are moving and not over the plate.
Changeups, Michael. He's bringing it out early. Couple changeups to Seager, one to Ichiro, now 2 to Ackley. There's another one. That little wiggle's a changeup.
Hot shot to Jeter. There's one on to first. Not in time. Jeter bobbled it for just a moment. That kind of offset everything. He got it to Cano, but Seager was already down there.
Ackley having enough speed, I thought, with this hard smash. But you see right there, Derek bobbling a little bit, making sure the firm toss. I guess he thought perhaps with the great power arm of Cano, he'd been able to get him. But no. Ackley easily in.
With Mike Carr. There's a breaking ball strike. Count 0-1. Just underway here at Safeco Field. Yankees and Seattle. Yankees won the final game of their 3-game set against the Angels in Anaheim. That was on Sunday. And then beat Seattle 9-3 yesterday. This is the middle game of the 3-game set. Yankees have been very streaky. They'd won 6 in a row. Then they lost 2 in a row to the Orioles, 2 in a row to the Angels. Then that's a 4-game losing streak. And now they have a 2-game winning streak again.
He's trying to get guys rested through that period of time, Michael, with the extra innings and what should have been a day off, having to go to Baltimore, some double headers. Today, giving Granderson an off day, which is much needed. So Girardi has him sitting down.
Just missed.
Another one now. Count them up. You know, it's part of it. But here, watch here. Watch the glove. If he doesn't move the glove a whole lot, barely moved it, Russell Martin. He wants his ball up and in. I don't think it's too high. That looks like a pretty good pitch.
Hit sharply and through for base hit. Exactly was gone. He slowed down, but then picks up and will go third. I think Jeter might have deked him to think the ball was fielded. We'll have to take a look.
Well, that's usually a deke, Michael, but you know, also too, Nick Swisher has had the arm issue. He just didn't know where the ball was. I think he thought that Robinson Cano had knocked that ball down at least. You pick up the third base coach.
Well, Jeter didn't deke him at all.
Nope.
Swing and a miss. Smoke, the big return from the Texas Rangers in the deal that sent the left-hander Cliff Lee to Texas last year. Helped the Rangers get to the World Series for the first time. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Yeah, he was the principal prospect in that Cliff Lee trade. Has struggled off and on. There's a lot of potential in this young man. 230 batting average, 14 home runs, switch hitter. Plays a nice first base. A few too many holes are hard in, soft away.
The 0-2. Check swing, did he go? No. Said Mark Carlson.
3 changeups in a row. Check swing. Nope. That's a good call.
Just missed. He's not giving that ball right off the plate.
Well, he didn't give the one previous pitch that Mike Carp ended up getting a hit on. That was a little further inside.
Two. Swing and a miss. Got it. So AJ comes back to get out of a jam. No runs to hit. 2 men are left. Through 1. It's no score as we take a look at the Seattle Space Needle, which frames downtown. What's going on in the National League? And that's our Toyota text poll tonight. Who's going to win the National League wild card? It's starting to get interesting. Text your vote to 58772 and standard text messaging rates apply. Here are your choices. Will it be the Braves? The Cardinals coming on strong, and the Giants are right there as well. I like the Braves pitching too much.
You know, you look at all the teams, we talk about it, and just every club, other than the Phillies, but even then, curiously, their offense isn't as good as I think it should be. Every team has their warts.
Cano takes a strike. He couldn't believe the call and has a word with Timmons.
Robinson's thinking he called it based on the check swing. You know what? Looking at that replay afterward, didn't look all that bad. High strike. A little above the belt.
High drive, right center. Ichiro back on the track, looking up. See ya! Home run Cano. Yankees lead 1-0. That is his 110th ribby, and that is a career high. And also his 26th home run.
Well, he got out of his slump down at Anaheim, helping the Yankees to break a 4-game losing streak with a home run there, right field. Last night, 3 for 5. Nice way to start his night, the Yankee night.
Jesus Montero takes low.
Hanging breaking ball, inner half, almost inside off the plate. Robinson not know if he got all of it. What a player. So smooth, makes it look easy.
Base hit off the bat of Montero.
Montero off yesterday after coming on the scene.
Let's go back to Cano for a moment. Take a look at the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
This is a hanging curveball that Robinson Cano gets the barrel of the bat on the ball. We talk about a nice, pretty swing. 26 home runs, career high 110. RBIs. What a year again for Robinson.
Andrew Jones takes a strike inside. Count 1-1.
I know it's only batting practice, Michael, but I was watching. You see the stands at Safeco? They have like a short little upper deck there. He was hitting it on the upper third, almost out of the stadium. Andrew Jones today during batting practice.
Hammer, fair. It's a fair ball. I guess it was off the glove of Seager. Montero goes to third, and Andrew Jones is at second with a double.
You talk about a hot smash. What's the swing here? This is a slider trying to be on the outside part of the plate. Watch Kyle Seager. This ball is hit hard, just off the end of the bat or the end of the glove. Touching it in fair territory. Third base umpire Mark Carlson calling it fair.
Russell Martin takes inside. You saw that glove on his thumb, his right thumb, which is the one that was injured. He's cut the glove portion off.
Well, when he got that foul tip, it actually hit his nail, and he thinks that the nail is just going to eventually fall off.
Well, wouldn't you think that if your finger was injured, keep it covered?
My guess is it's probably swollen or uncomfortable enough that these batting gloves, Michael, are like a second pair of skin, where they're very tight. I think that the restriction on his thumb probably didn't feel comfortable.
Count 2-2. Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Alex Rodriguez doing some teaching. One thing that a lot of people don't know, I'm not saying everybody, people don't know about Alex Rodriguez. He really is a student of the game. Now he has an incredible amount of natural talent, which gets him through. But he studies the game. He goes home, he watches every game he can see on TV, knows the history back and forth. Now, with all the money that he's made in his career, I'm not sure. He probably wouldn't become a manager or a coach, but he's got that kind of mindset.
You know, almost to a fault watching him hit sometimes, because I know as a pitcher you can outthink yourself, and there's no doubt about it. Great talent, fantastic player, but there often I think he can think too much about what he thinks the pitcher's going to throw and ends up missing some pitches he'd normally swing at.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Off speed. Martin down on strikes. Why don't we check out the Mariners defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Karp, Wells, and Ichiro left to right in the outfield. You've got Seager, Ryan, Ackley, and Smoke third to first. Olivo behind the plate, and Furbush is on the mound.
But to your point, Michael, there are players that have played as to his level or close to it that really just play the God-given ability, go out, play baseball. You've got great skill and not really think about it. And he's an absolute student of the game, and he likes to share it as well. There's some teammates who, you know, you really can't get much out of them. You know, sit down, talk baseball, pitching, hitting, fielding, whatever.
It's interesting. There's a lot of people throughout baseball that will tell you they'd rather have a player that doesn't think too much. Just as you said, just go up there and react. Sometimes paralysis by analysis. The 1-0. And that gets past Olivo. Montero's coming home and he will score. As Andrew Jones moves to third, the Yankees are now up 2-0.
Charlie Furbush just yanking this ball. This isn't even close. Almost ended up hitting Eduardo Nunez. Easily getting Montero to get tiptoe home. Olivo getting that ball back, but there's a lot of space here at Safeco. Some of the stadiums now, there's less foul territory. There's considerable room behind home plate.
Infield is in for Nunez. Pitch inside. Nunez in a long slump. 3 hits in his last 35 at bats. And some of the foul territory Al's talking about.
Which makes this additional reason why this is a pitcher's ballpark.
Here's a strike.
Get a fair amount of foul ball outs. I think of Oakland's Coliseum. Foul territory.
Swing and a miss.
Well, even though he got it by Nunez, Nunez has been struggling. Right now, Charlie Furbush, as I said, it's a command issue. He's missing a lot, not only off the plate, but in the strike zone.
Strike 3, Nunez down looking. Nunez, as I said, is not swinging the bat well. Almost looked like he wanted to walk there. He thought the pitch was off the plate, and he's down on strikes.
Yeah, look, you have a 3-2 pitch, a fastball. This is middle of the plate, pretty much right down the middle. Maybe knee high. Yeah, Olivo's setting up inside. That cut the plate right in half. That's what happens. A guy's struggling. You exploit it. Looking for a walk.
Pitch to Gardner as the infield backs up. There's a strike. Breaking ball strike. Count 0-2.
Gardner, he was also struggling, Mike, as you know, and yesterday, nice day for him, 2 for 4. Couple RBIs.
And the 0-2. The 1-2 pitch. And a miss. Nice comeback by Furbush to strike out Nunez, as well as Martin, and then Gardner, so he strikes out the side. So the Yankees scored 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, a wild pitch, and 1 man left on base. At the end of an inning and a half here in Seattle, Yankees lead 2-0. We'll recap the scoring in the second. Cano with a home run, is 26th of the year and his career high 110th run batted in. Then Montero singled to left. Andrew Jones doubled off the glove of Seager at third, moving Montero to third. Then a wild pitch scored Montero, moved Jones to third, but Russell Martin struck out, Eduardo Nunez struck out, and Brett Gardner struck out. And you could see as you watch Charlie Furbush why you can be seduced by his talents. He's all over the place, arms and legs, but if he could ever get that in sync, Al, he could be a pretty good pitcher.
You know what? You're right, Michael, and I think there's no doubt about it. Right now, if the Seattle Mariners were talking to Eric Wedge, the manager, they're pleased with some of the trades. And if you look at this team, it's not even close to what it was come out of spring training and opening day. And now this is where they are. And they know this. I talked to Carl Willis about Charlie Furbush, and he said, look, you know, we want to see what some of these young players that we're putting out here, who are going to be the key ingredients or even part of the ingredients of a team that's going to go out. Because, you know, Mike, as we were talking about Seattle, they have a nice fan base here. People come out and watch. So there's revenue here to mix with some of the younger players. But if you think about coming out of spring with some of the players that they had, they just didn't get it done.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by HP, everybody on, by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Mazda, Zoom. Yankees lead this one 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. So A.J. Burnett has a lead. And the Red Sox have a lead as well, as we'll take a look at the American League East standings brought to you by Delta. Keep climbing. You know, Tampa Bay kept climbing until today. Tampa Bay with a tough loss to Baltimore 4-2. The Red Sox beat up on Toronto 18-6. So the Red Sox remain 4 games in the loss column behind the Yankees. And now they have a 4-game lead over the Rays for the wild card. I'm sure they'll take a little bit of a deeper breath now as the pitch is low and away to Olivo.
Yeah, it's funny, we were talking about last night about how you line up the season and you talk about different teams and how it comes down. You said, no way, that they can't catch up. Too far. Well, Tampa Bay is making it interesting for not only the wild card, but the AL East.
Driven to left field. It's going to be over the head of Andrew Jones, and one hop up against the wall. And Olivo picks up a leadoff double here in the second.
Olivo, one of their bright spots for the year. Home run last night, puts a foot down. He is a high ball, fastball hitter, a hacker, likes to swing. He's susceptible to slow stuff down the way, but you get an account. That's a 1-0 fastball down the middle. And I said Miguel Olivo, he's done a very nice job for this club. Better than anticipated. 18 home runs on the year. Ended up hitting a home run off of Scott Proctor yesterday while the Yankees were up 9-1 and then make it 9-3, eventual win.
Here's Adam Kennedy. His job is to pull the ball, move Olivo to third. Bounced up there. Now at this point of the game, Al, as a pitcher, are you worried about him pulling the ball and moving the runner to third, or you just want to get it out?
Not this early. You know what? You don't want them to easily do their job, but right now you're going to exploit a weakness. Adam Kennedy has always been, I know he's getting older, a very good fastball, especially on the inside part of the plate. You want to go away with him.
Goes away there, clips the outside corner, 1-1.
Now, late in the game, you know the situation, nobody out. You don't want to easily get a productive out sac fly, 7th inning on kind of thing. You may be more conscious of that.
chop foul outside of first. Grab there by Teixeira.
Adam Kennedy, I mean, what a career, really. Down with the Cardinals, and then he went to the Angels as part of that World Series team. Nice player, gamer, old school, plays the game right. He's a good influence. I believe he's a very good influence on the younger players, especially Dustin Ackley.
That one gets past Russell Martin, kicking around back there. He recovers near the Yankee on deck circle as Olivo moves to third, so Kennedy didn't have to do anything.
Yep. Well, unfortunately, that's a ball that's not even close. Just, you know, AJ's in a spot where he's got the big curveball. He throws it real hard. I mean, this is an 83, 84 mile-an-hour curveball. Just bounces it. It's a spike curveball, and I believe with that, based on his release point, you can just see he just hooked it. Very, very tough for Russell Martin to get in front of that. What's this? This is almost hit Adam Kennedy. Hit in front of his right foot. So we're talking 58-foot curveball.
Swing and a miss. He gets Kennedy.
So now think of the fine line there. He ends up moving him over, okay, based on the wild pitch. But you can see that. I mean, it's a little higher. I mean, this is the break. He wants a big break for it to end up here. But the difference between the pitch he threw before and that is an inch or two on a release point. That's what makes his curveball. And, you know, maybe we could get hopefully a good shot of how it comes out of his hand. It's got such tight spin. It's always been so good. Hard pitch to control, hard pitch to get called strikes because it's such a big break.
Here's Casper Wells. Dribbled foul.
Casper Wells also in that Doug Fister trade. Charlie Furbush was part of the trade, along with Casper Wells.
Right now, that trade looks like it was a home run for the Tigers because Fister's been unbelievable. He might have elevated himself to the #2 starter in the playoffs behind Verlander. Foul back.
Yeah, he was doing a nice job here, but not even close to what he's doing in Detroit, Michael. You're right. I think that the issue there with Detroit, you know, you have the supreme #1, and then it's who else? Max Scherzer really hasn't been consistent. Porcello has not been consistent. Now here comes Doug Fister. He's done a nice job.
Did it go? Yes, he did. So Wells is down on strikes for the second out. Third strikeout for AJ.
Well, couldn't hold off. There's that great curveball. Casper Wells getting a shot to start this ball game righty on righty. Watch, he just cannot hold up. That's that tough curveball from AJ. See the spike finger? He's got his index finger off the ball, comes out directly over top, and pulls down. That's got great spin. 12-6 hands on the clock. Nice pitch.
Here's Brendan Ryan. He lines that one to right field. That'll score a run. Olivo scores, RBI single for Ryan, and it's 2-1 Yanks.
Well, that's a kicker. That's your AJ Burnett. You're thinking, hey, I got the big strikeout, 2 strikeouts in a row, the wild pitch. Bear down here and make a good pitch. You got the #9 hitter in Ryan, who's a 245 hitter. First pitch fastball, he's cranking, middle of the plate. Not trying to do a whole lot, right center approach.
Here's Ichiro Suzuki. And he fouls it back. Told you about Ichiro's skills starting to erode just a bit. Mariners are still into him for another year on his contract at $16 million for next year. Grounded to first. Teixeira will step on the bag, and that will do it. For the Mariners, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 2 here at Safeco. Yankees 2 and the Mariners 1. Let's take a closer look, Al, at A.J. Burnett. I guess he's a thrill a minute. It's hard to really read him, but the stuff is there. Just he doesn't get consistent results.
All right, he's got an 0-1 count. He got ahead. Ichiro was foul ball with the fastball. This is the good curveball, and I don't know if we have Ichiro hitting this pitch. He's out in front, and it's moments, and I know it's not easy. I know it's part of the game, but the previous pitch, you had the 9-hole hitter, your first pitch fastball down the middle. That's a nice pitch for Ichiro to not be able to handle. Pulls off of it, a little simple little unassisted play from Teixeira. If you go back to that Brendan Ryan, you gotta bear down. Those are the moments as a pitcher where when you're struggling. Here, look where he has the glove. If I can make it even a little smaller, I did not. But that's middle of the plate. So one would say, well, hey, it's the number 9-hole hitter. He's only batting .245. You got to get ahead, be aggressive. You just struck out 2 guys. You had a wild pitch, get to third base. You made a couple nice pitches to Adam Kennedy and also Casper Wells. First pitch, fastball. That's what he's looking to do. Not easy. Did I do it an awful lot of times? Yes, but as a broadcaster now watching, I can feel the pain because it's obviously not what you want. And when we talk about wild, it's not wild missing and hitting the back stuff. Pitchers could be wild in the zone, and I would consider that wild in the zone.
And wild in the zone means the catcher's set up on the outside, let's say, and the ball is a strike, but it's on the inside part of the plate. That's not a good pitch. You didn't hit your spot, and you could miss by 17 inches and still get a strike. Hey, 2012 season tickets are on sale right now. Purchase the best available seats for the 2012 regular season and secure the opportunity to purchase the same seats for the 2011 postseason. Come join us for the chase for 28. For more information, visit Yankees.com or call 212-YANKEES. Now we go to the 3rd inning. Derek Jeter started off the game with a single to center field. On the Lincoln scoreboard, Yankees lead 2-1. Derek's single extended his hitting streak to 12 straight. There's a strike. Very interesting stat I saw on Jeter. Really jumped out at me. So he has a 12-game hitting streak, and it's the 43rd double-digit hit streak of his career. Now that's a franchise record. The 0-1. Now, since the Yankees were founded in 1903, that's the first year of the Yankees, only Ty Cobb with 66, Hank Aaron with 48, Tris Speaker with 47, and Al Simmons with 44 have more double-digit hitting streaks. That's some pretty good company. 4 Hall of Famers, and Derek's obviously going to make the Hall of Fame as well. And 43 double-digit hit streaks in his career, and that's the most by any Yankee, and the 5th most since 1903. Jeter swings and misses, and also with his hit in the 1st inning, he's now 1 shy of 150 on the season. And he's had at least 150 hits in each of his first 15 seasons. Rarefied company.
Well, that's why listening to you, I think it's hard for me as a contemporary player, having played against Derek, played with him, now watching him. I don't know how you feel about it, but you know, the whole mystery of once upon a time and how the old time players and the greats, we're seeing it right in front of us.
That would have been hit 150, but he smoked it right at smoke. 1 away.
And it's just the comparisons of the great names that you're mentioning, what Derek Jeter is up against and passing, and that's just a straight Justin Smoke catching a low liner.
So Derek's hit the ball hard twice against Furbush, and he's 1 for 2. And that brings up Swisher. Swisher wrapped into a 1-6-3 double play in the 1st inning. Nick is 4 for his last 34. Pitch outside.
Well, we said about his throwing arm, it's bothered him, certainly throwing. He's basically got a sore arm, and pitchers get that.
That one is driven to left field. Carp is there for the 7th. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. There's Mark Teixeira, 10-game safe go hitting streak. He struck out in the first inning. And there's a strike to Mark. Foul the other way.
Talk about the simplicity of a player sometimes, and I asked Mark, I said, you know, your numbers are great here, why? And, you know, it's a comfort level. And in the end, he said, I like the backdrop behind the center field wall. I could see the ball well. And there's really no explanation. He likes the city. I said, what does that mean? You like coffee? He said, yeah, I like coffee. But, you know, there's just that certain feel, certain stadiums when you visit.
High fly ball. Center field. Casper Wells is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. Well, the Yankees go down in order. We've played 2.5 here in Seattle. The Yankees lead the Mariners 2-1 on Yes.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Great game last night, huh?
Oh, yeah. Total domination.
Unbelievable.
Forget about it.
Hey, fellas. This is Tom. This is the first day.
I'm wicked psyched to be here. You guys ready to rent some cars?
Okay, you're the good cop. I'm the bad cop.
Look, it's still a great time to refinance.
Listen up, Buster. We're not going to pay any closing fees.
I do what she says, friend. I can't control her.
Well, it's the no closing fee refinance, so we pick up the closing fees.
Oh, you're going to pick up the closing fees?
Yes. On average, that's $3,300 at closing.
$3,300?
That's a lot of donuts.
Visit Capital One Bank today to refinance your mortgage, and we'll pick up on average $3,300 at closing.
What's in your wallet?
I'm good.
Oven Gold Turkey is a magnet for sandwich thieves.
Aha! Not today, Jeff. Every day, you switch my boar's head oven gold with your cheap turkey made of ground-up pieces and fat and seaweed extract. Seaweed, Jeffrey. Well, not today. Today, I win.
Boar's Head Oven Gold Turkey. Compromise elsewhere.
September 11, 2001 was a day New Yorkers will never forget, the time when our city showed its strength and resilience. Tomorrow, the Yes Network examines the role New York sports played in the city's recovery, featuring interviews with Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Paul O'Neill, and also the mayor of New York City during the attacks, Rudolph Giuliani. 9/11 remembered tomorrow at 8. That's right here on Yes. Well, we go to the bottom of the third. The Yankees are leading 2-1 on the Lincoln scoreboard. It'll be Seager, Ackley, and Karp against A.J. Burnett. Scooped up on the backhand, 1-0.
Kyle Seager was the teammate of Dustin Ackley at University of North Carolina, and Seager was actually the second baseman who now Ackley displaced, and Seager playing third now.
The 1-0 inside 2-0. And the pitch. And the count 3-0.
Well, missing here, you want to obviously not walk anybody, but especially a leadoff batter early in the game.
And he throws a strike to Seager. Hammered down the right field line. It's a fair ball, and it goes into the corner. Swisher plays it out there, flips the ball in, and Seager has himself a leadoff double.
Well, he gives him a 3-1 fastball. Put in play. You don't want to give up a double. You see him missing location, which allowed Seager to end up pulling that ball for a double. In a 3-0, 3-1 count, you have a guy that, you know, doesn't have particularly great power. That's why Russell Martin set up on the outside corner. Ooh, Winston there with his shoulder.
What was that?
That can't be a good thing.
There's Ackley. Count 1-0. Well, what a recruiting tool that would be for the University of North Carolina. That both of these kids back to back in a major league lineup. That's pretty cool that a program could produce that.
That program, Michael, college, big time. We talked about over the years.
Brian Roberts, right?
Brian Roberts.
BJ Surhoff.
Yeah, I'm blanking right now. They've had a ton of it.
2-0. Chop foul.
The #1 pick with the Mets. I think they called him up. Matt Harvey. Remember him from the Cape Cod League. #1 pick. Daniel Bard, another one. Keep messing with his arm. I don't like that, Michael. Cold night here. Starting to get a little damp.
3-1. And he does it again. That one hit the up, and he keeps kind of shaking his arm. But no one's moving out to take a look. Back at the ump in the midsection.
Oh, that's not good. He's wincing right after he's thrown the ball.
The Yankees are usually so attuned to that, and somebody shows the slightest flinch. But Russell Martin just had a long talk with him, and the trainers are staying in the dugout. Larry Rothschild and Joe Girardi.
You know, a pitcher won't pull himself unless it's just unbelievable pain, but a catcher who sees that, because he's watching his facial movement, the delivery of the hand, the release point, they'll usually call somebody out.
He's doing it again, kind of like stretch back this time, as if you had, pulled muscle in the chest. Not throwing strikes for sure. Count 1-0, runners on first and second. We're in the bottom of the third. Velocity still there at 93 miles an hour. Count 1-1.
And that's not the thing that you lose, because what happens, a pitcher, he's feeling pain. The innate instinct of battle mode is to find the velocity. So it is command that goes before velocity. Because you're all over the place. You're just trying to generate the energy to be able to throw a baseball at 93 miles an hour.
Grounded. Oh, a hot shot knocked down by Teixeira. And he flips to AJ, who beats Carton to the bag. Oh, was that hit hard as the runners move up?
Yeah, he just saved 2 runs right there. Mark Teixeira, Gold Glove at first. That's the kind of stuff that you appreciate as a pitcher, as a staff, as a club. Watch this. This is a hot smash. Gets a bad hop. There's protect mode, really, making sure that he's able to knock that ball down. That's covering right side. Pitchers, watch J.J. Burnett off the mound. Immediately run to the right side, even if you think your first baseman has it, and get there. Watch here, curveball down. He sees it. He's got to get out there.
There was a wince again. Now all of a sudden the Yankees do come out. Gene Monahan, Rothschild, Joe Girardi, they're going to take a look. He said, I'm fine. He just dismissed him and said he's fine. Now, Al, if you're hurting, this is the opportunity here to say that you're not fine, and he just dismissed them.
Yeah, well, you know what? I pitched most of my career, especially the back end of it, with something wrong. And it's a strange thing, Michael, to try to, especially in battle. You're in battle mode right now. You're trying to get hitters out. You know your role on the team. You're trying to do your job.
Hector Noesi is up. And that one clipped Smoke. He's not fine. I mean, he's never been pinpoint control anyway, but you could see he's not fine.
No, I'm with you. I mean, you throw a ball and wince, there's something wrong. And we've seen now 4 or 5 pitches. We've seen the reaction after he's thrown the ball. He's just missing. This is supposed to be a fastball in. Oh, it's in. Another hit batsman.
All right, here's Miguel Olivo. Bases loaded with 1 out. Yankees lead Seattle 2-1. Breaking ball, low and away, 1-0. And the 1-0. 94 miles an hour. 1-1.
Well, that's what they're looking at. They're basing on a veteran guy. You hope that he'd be honest. Larry Rothschild, watching what's coming out of his arm. You know, unless you're just really laser focused on after the pitch, see his reaction. But what's coming out of his hand right now looks like he's healthy.
Swung and missed. Now 1-2.
It's a nice curveball after late with the fastball. Look at the drop on that. That's a curveball, has the break of a downward slider.
Nice block by Martin. 2-2.
Well, this curveball a little slower. You see Russell Martin getting set, knowing that the break is going to take him out there. That is a nice play, saving a run. Get his body out, curling, keeping the ball in front of him.
One out here with the bases loaded. Yankees lead 2-1, bottom of the third. Another beautiful play there by Russell Martin. Boy, does he get a workout when AJ's on the mound.
Well, you got the major league leader in wild pitches. Again, that's even further. That's just not a feel, Michael. You have, you know, major league pitchers have a good feel for the most part as to strike, curveball release point, down and away release point, and then a ball that you want in the dirt. You'd never want to throw a ball 1.5 to 2 feet outside.
10 above the closest pursuer, AJ Burnett. 24 wild pitches, leads the majors. High drive, left field. Andrew Jones is there. He'll make the play. Tagging is Seager. He'll score easily. It's a sac fly for Olivo, and the game is tied at 2.
Well, Andrew Jones throwing behind Ackley. Ackley thinking that he's going to throw a firm throw to third base to Nunez. Andrew elected to throw behind the runner. Watch this, a high fastball, just high enough for AJ sake and the Yankees. That ball's way back here now. Ackley ended up tagging up, but he ended up staying.
Swing and a miss.
Watch here, Ackley. We got the runner at third. Obviously, he's easily going to score. And then Ackley going back, maybe tag up, but he knows the dimension here. Andrew Jones having a strong arm for a left fielder. Staying at second base.
And that one squeezes through and rolls to the warning track in front of the screen. So another wild pitch. That's 25 on the season for AJ. No, they don't give a wild pitch. It's a pass ball.
That's a tough call here. Pass ball. Let's see if does he get a glove on it? Well, let's see if it touches the glove first. He should have at least stopped it. Well, through the wickets. Yeah, that's pretty close. If you ask Russell Martin, he just said he should have stopped it. Nice, showing good velocity. Yes, his command is off, obviously, with the wild pitches and missing on his mark a lot. Ball still coming out of his hand nicely, 94s. Curveball has considerable break, just missing. Beautiful changeup. Good third pitch for A.J. Burnett. Ball just dying down and away. Nice pitch, 89 miles an hour from that 93, 94 mile an hour fastball.
Count 3-2.
Just having a tough time here. He's setting up middle out, getting his body out. Boy, the agility that's necessary for a catcher to be able to block this. So Martin doing all he can to keep that ball in front of him, saving another run.
I think this is what the Beatles were talking about.
What's
Hard day's night. He is really, really earning his pay tonight. Three-two. Swing and a miss. He got him. Off speed. But the Mariners tie the score. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 4th. It's a 2-2 game on Yes.
Jersey Boys, the Broadway blockbuster about 4 guys bound by one dream. And now the Tony Award-winning Best Musical has performances at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Jersey Boys on Broadway.
When you fly to New York, don't wait in a taxi line. Simply call the 77s of Dial 7 Car and Limousine Service. We'll pick you up outside of baggage claim and take you to your destination in style. If you need more space, dial 7s for a minivan or limousine. We've got a bold new look, and we're the best ride in town. The 77s of Dial 7 Car and Limousine Service. 777-7777.
Right now, Manhattan Ford is the best place to be with the top 3. The 3 Ford models you want most at prices you'll love best. 1. 2012 Ford Fusion SE for just $139 per month. 2. 2012 Ford Escape XLT for only $137 per month. Or 3. The 2011 Ford Edge SE for just $189 per month. That's 3 great reasons why Manhattan Ford is the best place to be. Online at manhattanford.com and conveniently located at 11th Avenue and 54th Street in the Manhattan Automobile Company.
Breaking ball. Hit in the air. To deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone.
With DirecTV, your favorite team is never far away, even if you are.
Because no distance is too great between you and your team. With MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV. Every team, every player, no matter where you live. It's the most baseball in HD.
From A-Rod.
Make every game a home game with MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV. Order today.
State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Who's the only player to catch at least 30 saves for both Mariano Rivera and Trevor Hoffman?
Wow, that is a good one.
Now, I know our colleague, John Flaherty, caught for the Padres and the Yankees, but I don't think he caught 30 of Mo's saves. I'm sure he caught 30 of Trevor Hoffman.
I got him.
No clue.
I know.
Count 0-1 on Cano. The 0-1. We have a scoring change. The pass ball that was charged to Martin has now been changed to a wild pitch.
Yeah, that was a tough call there.
Grounded to first. Smoke flips to Furbush, and he beats Cano to the bag. One away.
Well, so Martin getting his rest, huh? His first assignment back after hurting his thumb.
Here's Jesus Montero, singled and scored last time up. Pitch inside. That one's drilled deep to left field. Carp going back. It's going to be one hop up against the wall. Montero going for two, and he's going to make it. Boy, did he crush that ball. I think it had top spin on it, so it only carried to the warning track and then bounced up against the wall, but a double for Montero.
He's given such good at bat so far early in his big league career. I have to tell you, this ball is down in the zone, quick to the ball, fast hands. I mean, this ball had some really good top spin. Carp trying to get that ball in quickly. If it was on line, it may have been a little closer play. Watch how quick he gets to this ball here. This is slightly in, down in the zone. Boy, he's been impressive so far.
There's Andrew Jones. There's a strike.
It's his first double, first big league double. 3 home runs.
You know, we've been so impressed with Montero, and I asked Joe Girardi, he really had a legitimate chance because Francisco Cervelli was hurt in spring training to make the club out of spring training. He said, what happened? Because you know what, I think he pressed. I think he got too excited about the opportunity to make it, and he didn't really show what he could do. But now he is not pressing and just letting the game come to him. Count 1 and 2 to Jones.
Well, that's part of the timetable for every player, Michael. And if that's what he was experiencing in spring training, well, the year in AAA did him a good thing. Being able to get some at-bats and work his way through it.
Rounded to short, they fired to second, and that's bad base running by Montero, and he knows it. And that's part of the growing pains, and a good play by Brendan Ryan.
Well, that's not even growing pains, Michael. You teach that in the lower level U12 Little League. If the ball's in front of you, you make sure that it gets through the infield. He just got stranded too far off the base. Yeah, there's a big league energy vibe to it. You're in a big league ball game. You got a little too far off the bag. A quick snap throw, Brendan Ryan. Nice tag from Dustin Ackley. That's a base running mistake at every level.
Russell Martin takes a strike. keeping Jones close. The 0-1. 0-2.
If there's one thing early on watching Charlie Furbush against the Yankee hitters, he is wild. There's certain guys that are like effectively wild, that are in the zone, out of the zone. He throws across his body. He's kind of all arms and legs. He's like really going to blow it by you with the 95 or better. He's shown decent velocity with a nice slider.
The 0-2. 1-2. Martin struck out against Furbush in the second inning. The 1-2. Low 2-2.
Waiting him out, Russell Martin. Andrew Jones does not have a stolen base. In his younger years, he was a guy that would get a handful of stolen bases.
Swing and a miss. Martin down on strikes. No runs a hit, no errors, one man left. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Yankees and the Mariners are tied at 2 on yes. Let's see.
Left the Yankees to go to the Padres.
It is Flaherty. I never thought John
Flash
saved 30 with Mo. I never thought he'd be, wow.
Well, I knew John had it with San Diego, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Good going for John Flaherty. So I eliminated him at the top. So that wasn't as if I gave a clue. I took people off the scent.
Yeah, you ruined it for
I
him.
ruined it for people. Here are the top 5. Posada with 368, Girardi 73, Flaherty 32, Molina 31, and Russell Martin has caught 30 of his 40 this year. There's a strike to Wells.
Well, AJ looks fine. As we were saying here, 92 to 94 miles an hour. Maybe it is a little cool here. Maybe just a pitch or two ended up bothering him. Go down, put some heat on, maybe a little icy hot or something like that.
Fouled off. Strike 3. Wells down looking.
Wasn't ready to hit. I guess 3-2 fastball right there, close. I guess he was hoping that ball was outside. Watch Russell Martin pull that ball. It's a good pitch. You know, I thought it was more middle of the plate. That was outside corner.
Brendan Ryan fouls one back.
These 2 days here, Brendan Ryan, light hitting shortstop, showing he can turn on a fastball. Did against Scott Proctor, hit a double, and his first at bat, same thing. There you go. Rip that fastball foul. Let's see if he gives him another one. 2 curveballs in a row.
And Ryan is down.
Nice curveball. Look, fastball. He showed he hit it. Previous one, he looked bad. I'm a believer for all pitchers. If a hitter looks borderline awful on a pitch or just looks like he's not seeing it, throw it again. He did. Same effect.
Ichiro takes outside. Suzuki's 0 for 2, struck out and grounded to first. So Al, we were both way off and thinking there was something wrong with it.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, there's times, and it is a little chilly here. I don't. What do we say? 60 something. A little damp. Maybe a certain throw during the inning, he felt something, and it's kind of a muscle pull. And perhaps he, maybe, who knows, went up and get a little rub, put some of that heat on.
But why would he have been willing to pitch through it? I guess he felt it before.
There's a difference between a sharp, acute pain and then just general achy soreness. I know, having thrown a baseball enough to where if you're not completely loose and warm, you'll feel a little sore.
Nice play there by Teixeira. Steps on the bag, gets Ichiro in a 1-2-3 inning for A.J. Burnett. And the Yankees, Gold Glove on display. And he beats the speedy Ichiro to the bag. We go to the 5th.
At Transamerica, we are the tomorrow makers. We're making tomorrows like clockwork. For all the different things our customers planned for. Like a college education. Or the perfect wedding. We're making them a better financial future. What can we make with you? Transamerica. Transform tomorrow.
This is Jets Pizza, Sterling Heights, Michigan. In here, food is inspected, perfected, and occasionally rejected. With a customized mobile app developed with AT&T, Jets food inspectors can share data in real time. So what used to take 2 weeks now takes 2 hours. Faster feedback means better food and happy people. It's a network of possibilities, helping you do what you do even better. Call AT&T and see what we can do for your business.
Nunez will lead off against Furbush. And there's a strike. That's a peanut vendor. No, it's a hot dog.
Yeah, I figured that.
Oh, you got condiments in a box. There's a strike. That is a very efficient peanut vendor. Got the condiments and a little
Drinks
Tupperware
too. Look at
thing.
it. He's got the drink container. All of one-stop shopping there.
Acela, scoreboard, it's 2-2. Fouled straight back here and under our roof. Check swing. Now, we told you the Yankees came into action today 4 games up. Now it's 3.5 with the Red Sox win, which Nancy told you about against Toronto. I got some positive stats for Yankee fans, or a positive stat. The 2-2. Popped up. Smoke. 1 away. You ready for this, Al?
Yeah.
The Yankees have never, and I say never in capital letters, failed to win a league, division, or wild card race in which they led by as many as 4 games at any time during the month of September. Never.
So what is it?
You want me to translate it to another language?
No, I'm just being the devil's advocate here.
Well, there's always a first time, I guess is what you're saying. Here's Brett Gardner. Did somebody get me a towel? I'll just pour cold water over my stat.
Stop. It's good. The statistics are good. But I do think that players are really oblivious to all that. I don't think, I know, because I was one of them. And you disregard all that and you play the game that's right in front of you.
Players might be oblivious to it. Fans aren't.
Yeah, that's good. So no cold water. That's cool. Ever. Never happened before.
You know what? Let's take an inning off. I feel like talking to you.
I like that. I'll be back.
The 1-1. There's a strike, 1-2.
Well, you think last night, King Felix, we're looking at, Yankees tough time scratching runs. Ended up hitting them for 6 runs in 6 innings. Now Charlie Furbush looks like he's settling down.
Well, take the Yankees with you when you travel out of the Yankees home territory. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see Yankees games live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Here's Derek Jeter.
Last night, better vibe, energy with old King Felix on the mound. This crowd looks about half what it was last night.
Well, that section down by the left field foul pole was jammed with younger people wearing yellow T-shirts.
The whole thing was filled with yellow.
I was very, very taken by the fact it was just $30 a seat for a yellow shirt and a seat.
Were you not? That sounds like a bargain. A T-shirt's got to be, what, $15?
Really? Well, how much does it cost to make?
Wow.
Too old. You know, one thing that we didn't talk about yesterday is that you got the shirt, you sat in the section, and then I guess somebody who had the best costume on coming to the ballpark before they got the shirt on, they got a turkey leg. And then you would take a bite out of the turkey leg and you pass the turkey leg around. Now, I don't think the health department would love that, but that's what they do during King Felix's start. It's the 3-1. Looped into right field, coming on is Ichiro. He's there and he makes the play. As Furbush retires the Yankees in order, 1-2-3. The end of 4.5, we're halfway through. Yankees 2, Mariners 2. Here's how you voted. Atlanta 67%.
St. Louis has made it interesting. They look like they were for dead. Picked it up, pushing on the old Giants.
This is the up to the moment standings. So the Braves have 4 games on the loss column over the Cards and 6 over the Giants. See that story today in, I believe it was in USA Today, that many people think that La Russa is going to end up getting the White Sox job, where he all started, the Acela scoreboard 2-2, and that Ozzie Guillen will end up being quote-unquote traded to the Marlins.
For Logan Morrison. That's what they asked for.
Wow, that's a lot. Now, we've seen trades of managers for players before, right here in Seattle. Seattle gave up Randy Wynn to the Tampa Bay Rays.
No,
the other way, the other way around. The
Pinella.
Tampa Bay Rays gave up Randy Wynn for Lou Piniella. Swing and a miss. Seager down on strikes, and that can happen, you know, if the manager has a year left in his deal, or a couple of years, and Ozzie Guillen has a year left on his deal. And it's always been kind of a out there secret that the Marlins covet Ozzie Guillen.
Well, with the new stadium they have, and I don't think it's much of a secret anymore. There's enough being, obviously nobody confirmed it, but the fact that everyone keeps talking about it. Wow, so La Russa, full circle, right? That's where it all started for him?
Well, Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the White Sox, has long said that his worst mistake was firing Tony La Russa. And that was La Russa's first managing job. The 0-1. 0-2, and he's in the final year right now with the Cardinals.
You think La Russa is going to wait on old Mr. Pujols, see what he does?
Might not be the worst thing to do. The 0-2. Fouled away.
AJ, you talk about settle down. We talked about his wincing of his arm. How about strikeouts of his last 5 outs? 4 of them been strikeouts. And now here Dustin Ackley fighting off some pitches here. See, drop a little curveball here.
Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Martin. He gets an angle. So that's a strikeout of Ackley to put out 2-3. So he has struck out 5 of his last 6.
His curveball has been electric all night. Missed a little bit with his command. Still, the velocity was good. These Seattle Mariner hitters cannot lay off all of his strikeouts. Michael had been on the. No, I take that back. One of them was looking. Casper Wells looked at a called strike 3 fastball. The rest of it all curveballs. And I said at the open, curveball domination of batting average against this year 144. Well, that's going way down on the curveball.
Grounded to Cano. Nice hop for him. And he gets Carp, and that'll do it. So AJ has retired 8 in a row. Why don't we go to the 6th? It's 2-2. New shortstop is Luis Rodriguez. So he takes over for Brendan Ryan. And we go to the 6th inning. Nick Swisher will lead off. Piece of the bat goes flying one way and the ball another.
Saw that home plate shot from behind the batter's box. That ball is off the end of the bat. He's got such great movement. Kind of slings it, falls off. That ball's running away from Nick Swisher. Got a little cup at the end of the bat, what they call a cup it out, so they could save a quarter ounce maybe. And in doing so, that's much more than a quarter ounce.
Given out to deep center field. Wells on the way back. He's not going to get there. Hits off the base of the wall. Swisher will head to second with a double. Really hit that ball very well.
Yes, he did, Michael. 25th double on the year. Watch here. He's trying to go inside. Ends up, missing way outside. Nice swing. They know this. Charlie Furbush has been coming after the Yankee hitters. He's settled down somewhat. This ball over Casper Wells' head, almost getting the ball out of here. Dead straight away, dead central. 4:05 here at Safeco.
Pitch outside to Teixeira. 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and fly to center.
Tex is a pull hitter. I mean, especially from the right side. He's not really thinking about pushing a run productive out to the right side of the infield. He's going to drive the ball here.
Rookie pitchers this year against the Yankees 2-6 with a 6.39 ERA.
And that's a little different from years past. Because Yankee hitters are so patient, watch every pitcher's motion and movement. If they haven't had a history, usually it's a couple times around.
Sean Kelly warming for the Mariners. In fact, Al, they're 14-4 this season in games in which they opposed a starting pitcher they had never seen before. Not necessarily a rookie. And they've won their last 9 such games. That one is punched into right field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Nick Swisher had to hold up to see if Ichiro would catch the ball. So that single extends Teixeira's Safeco field hitting streak to 11 straight.
No, this is nice hitting here. You see him put his foot down. The ball is up enough, enabling Mark Teixeira to be able to get on this baseball. You see how far back Ichiro Suzuki is playing. Now you see Nick Swisher making sure that ball falls in front of you with nobody out. You want to make sure that you see the ball down. He's shaking his head thinking that he should have known that right away, but Ichiro still has a strong enough arm. Even if he goes on that, yeah, you know what, that would have been a close call from Robbie Thompson. I think with nobody out, you just want to play it safe.
Especially nobody out with Robinson Cano coming up.
Right.
Rob Thompson told me something that was very interesting about being a third base coach the other day, and he's kind of a disciple of Clete Boyer. Clete Boyer, longtime Yankee third base coach, and considered by many, including Robbie, to be the best ever. He was just an amazing third base coach. Knew everything that was going on around him. He was third base coach for Billy for a while. And he said, if you think the guy's going to make it, I don't care how many outs there are, who's coming up next, you send him. You don't outthink yourself. You think he's making it, you send him. I don't care who's coming up next. I don't care how many outs there are, he goes.
Really?
That's what he said, which was surprising.
Yeah, that is surprising. You run yourself out a lot of innings.
But he said if you think he's going to make it.
Yeah.
So if you think it's going to be close, then you have to, you know, put all that other stuff together. But don't hold him back if you think, well, he's going to make it. He's not going to make it by 20 feet. Foul away.
I could go on the other side of that, Michael, because I used to be very thankful for an aggressive-minded third base coach. When you're struggling as a pitcher, you're giving up a walk, a double, run score, and then you have a play that is kind of borderline. They force it and get it out. It is such a relief, or you know, you weight off your back. Say, okay, I got it out. Really could have scored a run there. It just kind of gets you back into the mindset of, you know, making better pitches.
2-1. 3-1. Shattered bat, ground ball second. That's one. And they do not get the double play. Scoring is Swisher, and the Yankees take a 3-2 lead. So an RBI for Cano, his second of the game. He has 111.
Well, and that saved the double play. You're obviously getting the RBI. You don't get an RBI in a double play. Let's go pitch by pitch. Fastball away, just attacking Robinson Cano. You see Robbie tracking that ball, and then he missed that pitch there. He was late on it. Fastball down away. Ooh, that was a close pitch. Went Robbie's way, and then fastball in, shattering his bat. Ackley did not come up and get that ball aggressively. If he did, it may have been a little different. Soft toss there to Luis Rodriguez.
And that fielder's choice RBI for Cano. That's it for Charlie Furbush. As Eric Wedge takes the ball and signals to the bullpen. Yankees up 3-2 here in the sixth. 9-4 against Jason Vargas. 8-13, 4.49. We started off with the BP show. We spoke about at 9. 3 games at 9:30. Game time at 10:10 here at Safeco Field. Eric Wedge has seen enough of Charlie Furbush, who actually did a nice job, and he makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. And Sean Kelly will come on in relief to face Jesus Montero. Kelly, his 5th game, he's pitched 5 innings, 2 hits. And the pitch is low and away, 1-0. Montero 2 for 2. Those are the numbers on Kelly.
On the September 1st recall, first major league appearance.
Swing and a miss, count 1-1.
This was way back in 2010, Michael. You know, watching Charlie Furbush, you have a young player. You in a situation here, the opposing team gets ahead. Try to get him out of there sooner so he feels good about his next start.
High drive, center field deep, going back Wells. He'll make the play. And Robinson Cano forgot how many outs there were. Inexcusable. He's going to get doubled up. 8-4-3. And that'll do it for the Yankees here in the 6th. Cano simply forgot how many outs there were. Yankees score 1 on 2 hits, and because of the double play, nobody left on base. Take a look at Cano. He just takes off, thinking there's 2 outs, but rather there's 1. So he quickly gets doubled up, and he realizes his mistake right there.
Every day, all around the world, energy is being produced to power our lives. Well, energy development comes with some risk. North America's natural gas producers are committed to safely and responsibly providing decades of cleaner burning energy for our country. Drilling thousands of feet below fresh water sources within self-contained well systems and using state-of-the-art monitoring technologies, rigorous practices help ensure our operations are safe and clean for our communities and the environment. We're America's natural gas.
Sending back to college for a sophomore year. Co-signed a credit card, buy books, not beer. But the second that she shut the door, girls started blowing up their credit score. She bought a pizza party for the whole dorm floor. 100 pounds of makeup at the makeup store. And a ticket down to spring break in Mexico. But her folks didn't know, cause her folks didn't go to freecreditscore.com. Hard times for daddy and mom.
Offer applies with enrollment at freecreditscore.com. 3 rows of first-class seating. Quieter than Lexus RX 350. And better highway fuel economy than any other 8-passenger crossover. In other words, kids aren't the only ones being taken to school. Now get 0% financing for 60 months, plus get $1,000 cash allowance when you purchase a 2011 Buick Enclave.
Jeter and Ichiro face off as they wrap up their 3-game set in Seattle. Tomorrow, these 2 historic hitters look to make their mark as the Yankees and Mariners duke it out in the final game from Safeco Field. Yankees, Mariners. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 9, only on Yes.
Well, Thursday, Arsenal is back in action in Champions League play. After a thrilling victory in their last Champions League battle, the Gunners look to continue their streak against Borussia Dortmund's young squad in the first round of the group stage. It all starts with match analysis on Arsenal 360 Thursday at 8 right here on Yes. 3-2 Yankees lead. And the first pitch to Justin Smoak is low. Hey, how about the nice visit we just got from P.J. Carlissimo?
I know.
How about that? A New Yorker through and through. And he moved to Seattle full time.
Seton Hall?
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Well, wait a second. He coached Seton Hall. He went to Fordham. But he's one of the great guys, and his family loves it out here. So, want to drop by and see his hometown team, the Yankees. Now 3-0.
Always comes back to Fordham, doesn't it?
Yes, it really does, Al.
It's good. It's good. I didn't know that.
You got to be proud of your school.
Well, I know. It's good.
And Smoak walks on 4 pitches. Boone Logan and Corey Wade warming in the bullpen.
Both of them getting some ample rest yesterday with the 9-1 game. Was able to stay away from his core 3. Joe Girardi was bringing in Scott Proctor and then Luis Ayala.
That's the pitch breakdown. AJ's at 90. Al, I know that the players are humans. I mean, we know that they do superhuman things sometimes on the field. But to see Robinson Cano, who is arguably one of the top 5 players in baseball, completely pull a rock like that. And I looked up when he forgot how many outs were to see if the scoreboard had it wrong. The scoreboard said 1 out. The coaches always hold up the finger, 1 out. And for him to make a mistake, it's really hard to explain. When I say inexplicable, it truly is inexplicable.
Well, you know what? You're right. I mean, we were talking about how Montero ended up running on a ball in front of him, and he ran himself into an out. Yeah. Well, what can you say? That is a absolute mental brain cramp. You have to know how many outs, certainly, at every level of baseball.
Knocked down by A.J. Karam's out to Cano, and he fires to Teixeira to get Olivo. So that scored 1-4-3 as Justin Smoke moves to second. Now, that might have been an unfortunate happenstance. If he doesn't slow it down, I think it's a double play.
Yeah, and then here comes Robinson Cano. Maybe not. That ball was hit pretty hard. Robinson Cano may have been able to make that play, but even that play there, Michael, just the quick little flip throw. Ricocheting off A.J. Burnett coming up here. Watch the quick transfer. Immediately to his hand, underarm throw. Nice play.
Here's Adam Kennedy, 0 for 2. Now, we were talking to Nick Swisher yesterday on the ride back to the hotel, and he said when he plays first base, at least once a game, he will get handcuffed by Cano. He said because he gets close to you and then has to really throw the ball hard in that underhanded way. He said, and it's right on top of you because he throws the ball so hard without winding up. He said, if you don't play first base a lot, that could really get you. And that's what he just did to Teixeira, who's so great and is used to it, and he just handled it.
Yeah, that's a short throw, and sometimes the bang bang, you get a strong throw from Robbie 50 feet away, 40 feet away.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Obviously, I look forward to Tim Jones asking A.J. Burnett, what the wincing was going on, but let's hopefully assume, obviously, the way he's pitching, that it'd be fine. But it's almost settled him down, Michael. He's very calm. Doesn't look like he's really trying to overthrow. His curveball is excellent tonight.
Now let me throw this at you, Al. Sometimes if you feel any kind of pain, you almost keep everything very compact, and you don't do too much because you don't want to hurt yourself.
Don't overthrow. Michael, clear as day, I remember the game. It was in Arizona. I had a similar day where even warming up, I knew it just wasn't going to be good. And all I kept telling myself, down in the zone, down in the zone. And it happened to be a very good start.
2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
I mean, that curveball, Michael, has been so good. Unhittable. Here it is again. Swing and a miss. He's had one of his strikeouts that's not a curveball. It was a looking fastball, Casper Wells. Watch the side motion here. He's quieted his hands down, is able to get through better, as opposed to less rotational right to left.
Yankees lead 3-2, runner at second. And here is Casper Wells. 10 strikeouts for A.J. That matches his season high. And a strike.
As good as his curveball is, and I was a cutter pitching fool. I threw a lot of cutters because it was almost as fast as my fastball, and I figured, why not? It was hard to square up. And it was almost the velocity was right there. His curveball is that good tonight. To throw it more often.
And he has certainly feasted on the bottom of the Mariner order, bottom third of the order. 1 for 7 with 6 strikeouts. Adam Kennedy 3 times. Wells has been struck out twice, and Ryan once, but now Luis Rodriguez in that spot. Check swing, but he goes around. Count 1-2.
Well, he'd go a couple places here. I think it's been that kind of night for A.J. with his curveball. Russell Martin wanted to know what he wants to do here with 2 outs. Maybe his last batter of the night, 101 pitches. know what I'd be throwing, Michael. We had 10 punch outs, 9 of them on curveballs.
Smoke is at second. That's the time run. Yankees lead 3-2, bottom of the 6th. Throws a breaking ball, fouls it off.
Larry Rothschild consulting with Joe Girardi.
Burnett, the 1-2 again. Another breaking ball and another strikeout. So a new season high for A.J. Burnett. 11 strikeouts, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. We played 6 in Seattle. 3-2, Yankees lead.
Are we doing okay here?
Absolutely.
And what can I get for you? I'll have one of those.
Ever feel like you're missing out on...
By your local Nissan dealer as we go to the 7th inning. 3-7-0, beating 2-4-0. Canoa's solo home run is 26th. Also 2 ribbies. Olivo a double and a ribby, and Burnett's pitched very well. 11 strikeouts, a season high. The 2 ribbies for Cano give him 111 on the season. That's a career high for him. And Curtis Granderson pinch hits for Andrew Jones. As you see the Cadillac scoreboard, Yankees lead 3-2. So against Kelly, Granderson up there, and he works the count 2-0.
Kind of a half day off, right? You had the Charlie Furbush left-hander.
We were talking earlier about managers being traded, and our boss John Filippelli just texted me, reminded me that Gil Hodges, who managed the Mets to the Miracle 69 championship, was traded from the Washington Senators. Hot shot, base hit to right field to the Mets for Bill Dennehy, who was a pitcher, because Hodges was in the middle of a multi-year contract with Washington, and the Mets wanted him, and the rest they say is history. So it's happened a couple times, the Lou Piniella one and Gil Hodges as well. So a pinch hit single for Granderson. And here's Russell Martin. Yankees lead 3-2. The hit by Granderson, their 8th of the night. Ground ball up the middle. Grabbed there by Ackley. Puts the second one on to first. It's a double play. Beautiful play. Started by Ackley. And a nice pivot by Luis Rodriguez. I thought that was going to squeeze through.
I did too. Wasn't hit hard enough. This is a nice play by Dustin Ackley. Just trying to get the ball out of his glove. Russell Martin, not the fastest runner on the Yankees. Luis Rodriguez putting a firm throw on it. Justin Smoke being able to catch that ball before Martin gets there. Nice play. Smothers it, gets a quick little shovel pass over to first. 4-6-3.
Here's Eduardo Nunez. Shows bunt and takes a strike. Eduardo is 0 for 2. 3 for his last 37. His average down to 255. Grounded to third. Backing up, Seager across the diamond, and that'll do it. No runs to hit, no errors, and nobody left on base at the end of 6.5. 7th inning stretch time in Seattle.
Jeter, the guy's got an edge.
Derek Jeter?
That guy's got an edge.
Oh, definitely an edge.
He's got an edge. Totally.
Porque tiene un edge. Jeter, you know he's got an edge.
He's so has an edge.
It's got an edge, baby.
And I got it with this cool panoramic Vista roof.
Now lease an Edge with Sync and My Ford Touch for just $199 a month. Just $199.
Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
Only at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
An airline's job is to take you from where you are to where you need to be. And we're not just talking about points on a map. With a more intuitive Delta website and mobile app and the most Wi-Fi equipped planes, we let you be everywhere at once. Innovations like these are extending our reach so that you can extend yours. And now, even at 30,000 feet, you can still touch the ground.
J&R, New York's largest and top-rated technology superstore for cameras, computers, audio products, movies, music, housewares, TVs, video games, and more, is now proud to be the official consumer electronics retailer of the New York Yankees.
Nancy Newman in our YES Studios with the Tri-State Ford update. How good is Justin Verlander? How about 23 wins on the season? The Tigers had won 10 in a row. Tyler Flowers goes down here. It's a 5-zip final, a victory and a shutout.
Well, thank you, Nancy. We'll hear from Nancy and Kim Jones a little bit later on. But as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, it's time to take a look at the G Capital partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust. At G Capital, we prove that every day.
Bunch of them. A.J. Burnett bouncing curveballs early on. Russell Martin doing a heck of a job stopping the 2, and then one between the wickets and advanced the runner to third. He was just getting pounded early on, anticipating that curveball in the dirt. End up settling down, or possibly settling down, A.J. Burnett. And his curveball has been electric today.
New pitcher for the Yankees. It's going to be Rafael Soriano. So Soriano takes over for A.J. Burnett, who had 11 strikeouts.
Well, I'm saying tonight is this curveball. It has been a 12-6 on the clock, a breaker that's had great velocity, ends up having his 11 strikeouts, 10 of them on the curveball, and it's just been some kind of dynamic. There's a 1K that he had the fastball away. Russell Martin keeps calling it. It has that kind of break on it. Why not? Keep going to the well. Season high of 11 strikeouts, all on these curveballs. Look at that. That's why they're 11. So Martin was a little hockey goalie tonight.
Luis Rodriguez takes a strike from Soriano. And the numbers from Soriano drop down in front of you. 35th game, 2-2, 4.31.
16 walks, Michael. Too many.
Granderson takes over at center. Gardner moves from center to left. Got to send out congratulatory messages.
To who?
You know Sweeney Murdy, right?
Of course.
Of WFAN, covers the Yankees for them. He and his wife welcome a new baby into the world. Carolyn Celeste, wife Jessica, gave birth today. Everybody is happy and healthy, and we congratulate the Murdys. So that is so wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations, guys. Celeste?
Carolyn Celeste. Cadillac scoreboard 3-2. Kim Jones says it's Caroline. Caroline. So Caroline Celeste. Congratulations. Soriano flips it underhand to Teixeira. There's one away. Now, Al, I know here in this ballpark, somebody very near and dear to you, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Pat Gillick.
Yes.
And you give Pat Gillick a lot of credit for everything.
Yeah, oh, my gosh, Michael. I'm walking in before we get into the booth. There he is, Pat Gillick. You know, there are certain people in one's career where you just credit a lot for why you are where you are. And Pat Gillick was a guy who traded for me when I was with the Yankees, straight up for Jesse Barfield, all-star Gold Glove outfielder. And I got hurt, and I was hurt a lot with the Blue Jays, and he stuck with me. And I'll never forget it, Michael. There's certain little conversations and comments you have with different people you respect. And he looked me in the eye a couple times when I was going through those surgeries. He said, I'm telling you now, he's looking at me. He says, if you ever give up on yourself, I will give up on you. So long as you don't give up on yourself, I'm behind you and I'm with you. And it meant a lot because I didn't feel worthy. I felt awful being traded and not producing for basically 3 years. And now just inducted into the Hall of Fame. What a gentleman.
Was a GM out here with the Phillies, with the Blue Jays, with the Orioles. Highly respected man in this business. As Al said, was just inducted into the Hall of Fame, and the most recent induction ceremony, he was part of that.
And I remember the moment where he pulled me aside. It was at the Engelbert complex in Dunedin. Again, I was going in the training room, rehab, my shoulder, and all the mess, and just feeling awful. And I'll just never forget how close his face was to me. He said, "Don't ever give up on yourself." But you think about that. Every player, you know, very few are just on the easy track. And there are some that have a career with no injuries. Tom Wilhelmsen. And it meant, you know, it means a lot. But where would one be if it wasn't for a guy like a Pat Gillick who was in my corner?
The 1-2. Strike three. Ichiro down looking. A rare sight when he takes one right down the middle.
Well, you said it, Michael. You know, here's a guy who knows he's got a swing, has a great eye for the strike zone. That ball just came back. We were talking earlier about Ichiro not being Ichiro. It was high enough. It had that little two-seam comeback. That's his 60th strikeout on the year. 616 at-bats.
Here's Kyle Seager. A nice, easy 1-2-3 inning for Soriano, retiring the Mariners in order. So he has a reason to skip off the mound. Strong 1-2-3. We go to the 8th.
Whatever happened to real drinks? They used to be real liquor in a real glass. Now it's cocktails called Razzle Squatatinis and who knows what. This cocktail's called tequila. 18.
Call Lava Life Voice now and find what you're looking for. There are always exciting local singles to talk to anytime, day or night. You'll be amazed how much fun you can have on the phone, and it's free to try. Record a greeting, then listen and respond to other callers. When you're ready, you can even talk live, so it's easy finding people just like you. Get your free trial now. Call Lava Life Voice now and find what you're looking for. Call 212-949-4500.
Construction work is dangerous. Every day, workers are injured in accidents due to unsafe conditions.
Francisco supported his family by working in construction until one day he was injured in a construction accident. He needed a lawyer that could take care of his problems.
He called Jacob Areski and Associates, the lawyers who fight for the rights of injured workers with proven results.
And they won my case. If you've been injured in a construction accident, call me.
Jacob Areski and Associates, 718-993-9999. We'll even come to you.
Dish Network claims they have the same TV as DirecTV. Well, when it comes to customer satisfaction, America's leading independent index shows otherwise. Today, Dish Network's satisfaction ratings have plummeted, the biggest decline in over a decade, while DirecTV customers once again gave us the highest satisfaction rating of any satellite or cable provider. #1 in customer satisfaction. Another reason 50 million people agree. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
Sunday, don't miss an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. American League East champs or wild card, time's going to tell as the skipper discusses the stretch run of the season, including the importance of the final series with the Red Sox. It's a new Joe Girardi Show, and it's Sunday at 5, and it's only on Yes. That was an impressive performance by Rafael Soriano. He's had his moments where he's looked good, where he's looked a little shaky. That was a really good inning where he threw with authority, threw hard, and threw strikes.
Well, he had some time off, too. I think that's a key there for Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild to give him appropriate rest, because that was an absolute attack mode.
Here's Tom Wilhelmsen. Got a strikeout in it. This is his 20th game. Hyundai scoreboard, Yankees up 3-2 over Seattle. There's a strike.
You know what this guy did?
What?
Tom Wilhelmsen was the 7th pick in 2002. You know what he did for 4 years? Backpacked after he played a couple years with the Brewers. Just packed it in.
Now, he had been suspended a couple times, and he just told them he didn't like their rules, and he was out. And he just left, and as you said,
kind of a Ricky Williams kind of thing.
I guess. And he said, "I'm not dealing with this," and went backpack. Bunted right back to Wilhelmsen, and there was no way.
You know, watching stories or listening to stories, they have a special arm here. They really do. They have another guy in the pen. I was hoping we'll be able to see him, Steve Delabar. He's a real life. Remember the rookie?
Yeah, Jim Morris.
Jim Morris. Well, he's out in the bullpen. Not
he was
Jim
a teacher,
Morris.
and he was throwing 97 miles an hour, like in a semi-pro league.
This Jim Morris. Yeah.
This is Steve Delabar, but the same thing that happened with Jim Morris.
And now watching Wilhelmsen, you'd find an arm at 96, 97 mile an hour. The guy was sitting out for 3 years.
It always makes me wonder how many Wilhelmsens and Delabars are there out there that never comes across a scout. That might be just throwing gas in a semi-pro league.
And I think there are more. I mean, we could get into conversation about amateur baseball and how certain ways you have to do these showcases and be part of all these tournaments for now Major League Baseball and college scouts. That's where they go. If you don't have the $400 or $500 to spend for your kid to go to these things, there are players out there that have special talent that have to be seen.
So one out there, but he was drafted by the Yankees. He has very special talent. David Robertson preparing for the 8th inning. If things keep going this way, Mariano could pick up his 600th save tonight. So you want to suck it up and stay up a little bit longer. You might have work tomorrow. Might get a chance to see Mo pick up his 600th save.
That'd be cool. Absolutely. Here we go. 3-2 ball game.
3-1. Swing on this 97 by Wilhelmsen.
Seriously, this guy, Jack Zaretsik, Seattle Mariners, found him throwing semi-pro ball, independent league, 98 miles an hour. There's not too many of those arms around anywhere.
Strike 3, 97. Jeter down looking. And he has a couple of words with Tim Timmons.
Well, Tom Wilhelmsen just gas. This dots the knee down in the zone. You watch where Olivo catches it. Let's see, we'll get a little better angle here. Watch across the knees. That's a low knee-high strike, borderline. Derek didn't like it. Conversation, umpire allowing that, Tim Timmons. Early on, I thought Tim Timmons was going to be real tight. I thought with both sides. Derek did not like that, thought that ball was down.
Switcher, rounds one to Ackley. And Wilhelmsen comes on and retires the Yankees in order, 1-2-3. Why don't we go to the bottom of the 8th? Yankees holding on to a 3-2 lead. Here comes Robertson.
Enemy ship on starboard bow! Alert, Captain Morgan!
Captain Morgan, to life, love, and loot.
3 rows of first-class seating. Quieter than Lexus RX 350. And better highway fuel economy than any other 8-passenger crossover. In other words, kids aren't the only ones being taken to school. Now get 0% financing for 60 months, plus get $1,000 cash allowance when you purchase a 2011 Buick Enclave.
The ultimate triple play from Optimum gives you great TV, and now you can take it to every corner of your home. Watch live TV on your iPad, and now on your iPhone and iPod Touch with the Optimum app. Get Optimum Online Boost Plus with internet 3 times faster than Fios. A free advanced wireless router, and great features like Optimum Link. Just call 866-333-7162. Get the best TV, internet, and phone. Just $99.80 a month with the ultimate triple play from Optimum.
Trust WB Mason for the branded products you want at prices you'll love. Like Aspen Premium Recycled Papers, which look and perform as brilliantly as non-recycled paper. For all your office needs, who but WB Mason?
Well, you can vote along with us for tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. What do? You text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, A.J. Burnett. Number 2, Robinson Cano. Number 3, Charlie Furbush. And number 4, Jesus Montero. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Yankees tighten up their defense. They send Greg Golson out to right field to replace Nick Swisher. And David Robertson.
Well, this is the recipe for a tight ball game. Soriano 7th, David Robertson 8th inning. What a year. Look at this. 91 strikeouts in 60 innings. That's kind of high school ratio. Fantastic.
Well, he's going to face 3, 4, and 5 in Seattle's order. Ackley, Carp, and Smoke. And he'll be throwing Smoke. And a little curveball in there as well. There's the Smoke portion of our show. Strike 1. The Hyundai scoreboard, Yankees lead 3-2. And the 0-1. Strike. 0-2.
So good. Put the hitters in defensive mode right away. Pound in the zone.
Grounded inside third and down the left field line. Gardner Fields gets the ball in quickly. Nice fielding by Gardner, and he holds Ackley to a single. That's the first hit for the Mariners since Seager doubled to open up the third.
As good as David Robertson, I'm praising him here. Watch here, he misses. You want this area over here. 0-2, expand down and away. That 0-1 pitch was perfect on the corner. Nice, tough piece of hitting from Dustin Ackley. Going down and getting that ball. Staying on it, driving to left field. David Robertson missed his spot.
And the pitch outside to Carp. Nice pick there by Teixeira. Saved an error on Robertson.
Sure did, Michael. This, you want to make sure they're going to be watching him closely. Don't let him easily get to second base. A little backhand pick from Teixeira. One hopped him.
Strike. Pitch is high.
And Robertson working down the zone. Mike Carp, he's got power to left field. Hit a home run on Felipe Paulino from Kansas City the other day. Opposite way, 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Two and two.
Big healthy cut. Watch how he dives. This is a diver, meaning his body goes toward home plate. He's susceptible to get tied up inside. That's his velocity high enough to beat him.
Strike 3. Hard down looking.
Just can't pull the trigger. This is right down the middle. That fastball hitter, you obviously your tech motor at least put the ball in play. Just snapped it. Good pitch, outer third. Not always looking for it, at least fight it. Unless you're not looking off speed. There's no way. You got a pitcher on the mound that's showing he's throwing 94 or better. Tells you the sneaky effectiveness of a guy who already throws hard, and David Robertson just shoots at it.
Count 1-0 to Smith. That's right. He's throwing 94 on the corners.
Well, there's an example again of an inexperienced team. It's 1-0 fastball down the middle, and he's taking it.
Another strike.
It's kind of dumbfounding right now. You have a guy that's attacking the zone, unless they're just coming up saying, hey, he's got a high percentage of curveballs, look for curveballs, which, yeah, maybe 2 strikes now, look for it. This is a buried curveball in the dirt.
A fastball away.
Take a look here, see what Russell Martin puts down. Head shake from Russell Martin. Shake, no. Fastball away. The horns is throw over. Russell Martin get it from Tony Pena as to what to do. Fastball in.
Runner goes, the 2-2. Foul away. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Curveball, no, wants the fastball away. Conviction behind David Robertson. He saw the call from Russell Martin. He wanted a curveball. Then he went fastball in, shook, the fastball away. Rather have a pitcher have conviction behind the pitch he wants to throw than a half-hearted effort with a pitch that the catcher wants.
There it goes. Pitch is outside, so he walks Smoke. So Smoke wins that battle. Now this is something that doesn't really unnerve Robertson, because he likes pitching with people on base for some reason. Pitches better when there's somebody on base.
You know what, this is an interesting visit, because David Robertson, fantastic year. We just showed that the calls in which that Russell Martin thought were the right pitches, and he shook to it, and then you end up walking him. There's some doubt there when a pitcher knows that the catcher's thinking that it's another pitch is a better selection, and you end up shaking him.
Michael Saunders pinch runs for Justin Smoke. So now the tying runs at second. That's Ackley. The go-ahead run is at first. That's Saunders. And Mariano beginning to stretch. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Well, he gets him off the fastball. There's no doubt about it. Miguel Olivo is a fastball hitter. Loves the fastball. Susceptible to breaking ball away, especially the big one, not the cutter, slider, the curveball. If you liked it on the first pitch, throw it again.
The 1-0. 1-1.
The cat and mouse within a tight ball game. Location, selection of pitch, defensive placement.
Two balls and one strike, one out. Olivo at the plate. Runners on first and second. Yankees up by 1. 3-2, bottom of the 8th. The pitch. 2-2.
Well, he blew this by him outside corner. Olivo, it's kind of half late swing. Wasn't sure whether this what's here. It doesn't give it his big healthy hack at the end. He looks like he kind of reached for it, tried to go to right field.
And again, the count goes full. Mariners have 5 runs in this series, and Olivo's driven in 3 of them. Adam Kennedy is on deck. Let's see if Wedge sends the base runners on 3-2 to try to stay out of the double play. He does. The 3-2 swung and a miss, and there's no throw. So a double steal has Olivo down on strikes.
I don't know if Russell Martin didn't have a window here. Olivo swinging, big healthy cut. Maybe felt like he couldn't throw over Olivo. The batter has the right to the batter's box. Maybe he thought Nunez didn't get there soon enough. Would have been bang bang play.
All right, so big spot in this game. Runners on second and third. Adam Kennedy at the plate, 2 men out. Tying runs at third, go ahead runs at second. Bottom of the 8th. David Robertson sets and deals. Inside, 1-0. Count 2-0.
Good pitch, good take from Adam Kennedy. Oh, gonna walk.
Now they get the attention, so a walk to Kennedy. Now what's dangerous about this is if there's a chink in the armor of David Robertson, he doesn't always throw strikes.
Right.
And he walks too many people. So now you're forcing him to throw strikes with the bases loaded and the lead on the line. So an intentional walk to Kennedy.
Yeah, as great a year as he's having, Michael, you're right about that. He's got the 31 walks now, 30, well, intentional is 33 in the 60 innings.
It's going to be Robinson pinch hitting, Trayvon Robinson for Casper Wells. Now Larry Rothschild will come out and talk things over with Robinson.
Yeah, settle him down. Go over a game plan. Young pitcher that there's no history between David Robertson and Trayvon Robinson. Larry's good at this. Tell you exactly what the book says, what he thinks is the right scouter report against Robinson.
Ackley is at third. Saunders at second. Kennedy's at first. 2 men out. Yankees grasping onto a 3-2 lead. And a pinch hitter, Trayvon Robinson for Casper Wells. And Robertson deals. Strike. Very young team. Eric Wedge trying to use a lot of people, see what they got, trying to get a clearer picture about next year.
Well, Russell Martin had a lot of practice of that tonight. Make sure you get down. You get a wild pitch pass ball will tie this ball game up. Watch him get down, curveball. And David Robertson can't think about it. You have to trust that your catcher can catch the curveball down the dirt. You don't want to hang it because you're worried about a runner at third base. 4th time tonight he's blocked a pitch with a runner on third base. He's been tremendous. Done it all year. The 1-1. 1-2. Right, just blew it by him. That was a long swing. Trayvon Robinson probably getting some swings down the cage. You got to crank it up. See if he goes right at him.
The 1-2. Way outside.
I think based on that throw, he overthrew that fastball 94 miles an hour. See what Russell Martin's thinking. Something to tie him up inside, come at him.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Got him. He struck him out. So Robertson, who does that all the time with the bases loaded, strikes out the pinch hitter to save the Yankee lead. No runs, a hit, 2 walks, no errors, and the bases are left loaded, and the dugout likes the K.
Join Yankees Universe, the official fan club of the New York Yankees.
Members enjoy exclusive benefits, including fast-track entry to Yankee Stadium and the New York Yankees Museum, presented by Bank of America.
Access to an exclusive website and a subscription to MLB Game Day Audio.
Benefits increase based on the tier of membership selected.
A portion of all proceeds are donated to Memorial Sloan Kettering, benefiting pediatric cancer research. Join Yankees Universe today by visiting Yankees.com or by calling 800-GO-YANKS.
Okay, folks, here we go. Ready, camera 1. Roll open, lights up, and cue Neil.
Fox Business is on top of corruption, on top of overregulation, and on your side. This is Fox Business, working tirelessly behind the scenes, digging deeper and delivering real information, experience that matters, knowledge that's unmatched, people.
David Robertson in a jam, trying to get out of it, bases loaded. What a big moment. Go to the pitch by pitch. Trayvon Robinson goes right after him. Strike 1, looks, curveball in the dirt. Nice play. Russell Martin saving a run. That Bayou, I thought that pitch right there set up all these other fastballs. In the back of his mind, he knew that he had that pitch right there to strike him out. Big moment in this game. Good job, David Robertson.
Brandon League will come on to deal to the Yankees in the 9th. And Mark Teixeira fouls it off. League's numbers, an all-star this year.
Done a good job. Look at the 9 walks. We're talking about the walks that once Robertson gets those walks down. It's already a fantastic year. League, it was a setup closer up in Toronto. Mariano getting set, warming up.
He'll be going for number 600 unless the Yankees score 3 times. Foul away. The 1-2. Swing and miss. Swung him out.
Well, he got away with it, even though that's a split finger that's up in the zone. Teixeira out in front thinking fastball. He was real late on the previous fastball, hitting it down the line, foul. Brandon Lee getting away with a hanging split.
Here's Robinson Cano at his 26th home run. And also drove in a run with a fielder's choice. Hot shot up the middle, base hit.
Look out, Brandon Lee. Oof. There's a bullet. Throw it in, change up. Watch him square. Not enough time to get the glove up. 90 miles an hour coming in. Takes a little over 4.4 seconds. That ball was more than 90 miles an hour off his bat.
There's Montero. 2 hits tonight, 2 for 3. Nice play by the shortstop, Rodriguez. And they turn 2. Wow. 6-4-3 double play with a great scoop by Carp. Well, the Yankees lead 3-2. We're on the precipice of history. Mariano Rivera will be trying to become the second man in the history of baseball to notch 600 saves. Can he do it? Stick around.
Every luxury car claims to be somehow greater than the sum of its parts. But how about one that's smarter?
The Lincoln MKZ, named most dependable car in its class 2 years running by J.D. Power & Associates. Now, take advantage of exceptional offers on the MKZ.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
I'm here talking big plays with WB Mason.
Yes. Watch this lady. First, she makes a great pitch.
Looked like a slider.
Then, she calls WB Mason to order more Hewlett-Packard toner.
I'm calling about toner.
That is a great play.
Right. Nobody beats WB on HP.
In fact, we have such a great selection, we had to find some extra space to store it.
Hey, who did this?
I have no idea.
Who but WB Mason?
You got yourself a brand new Toyota.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, Mr. Manning, my pen.
Sorry, here you go.
It's a great time to sign. Lease Camry for $179 a month or get 0% APR for 60 months. Plus, get $500 bonus cash when you lease or finance Camry. Toyota, official vehicle of the New York Giants.
Well, after the last out, check the WB Mason postgame show with Nancy Newman. She's going to break down tonight's matchup and get the latest scores and standings from around baseball. Plus, Kimberly Jones gets the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up after the last out, only on Yes. Now, will that last out be on a pitch thrown from Mariano Rivera? Will he be Mr. 600? He's at 599. Trevor Hoffman is the all-time saves leader with 601. So Mariano trying to become only the second reliever ever to notch 600 saves. He has the most ever in American League history at 599. He has an 89.3% save conversion rate. He's made 1,037 appearances, including this one. Hoffman 1,035. And at 41 years old, he's the oldest player in baseball history to save 40 games in a season. But those numbers now put aside as he tries to nail down this game and in the process pick up his 600th save. Willie Mo Pena, former Yankee farmhand, is going to pinch hit for Luis Rodriguez. So the Yankees looking to win their third in a row, keep a 4-game lead over the Red Sox. And the pitch to Pena is a strike. Mariano has really played down this assault on 600. He said, that's not what I'm about. Just want to help the team win. But you know what? He gets saves. That means the team won. It seems that every player on both teams on the top step of the dugout on the rail, leaning forward, trying to watch baseball history being made.
Well, you know, these guys know what's on tap on the Yankee side.
94 miles an hour. Mo turning back the clock a little bit. The save is a stat that was created by the late Jerome Holtzman of the Chicago Tribune back in 1960. It became an official stat in 1969. And in that time, only Trevor Hoffman has scaled the 600 mountain. The 2-2. Swung and foul tip held on to by Martin, one away.
Nice job by Russell Martin. This cutter down the middle. Willie Mo Pena, big swing. Russell Martin able to handle that foul tip. One down.
Here's Ichiro. Now Ichiro at times will open up if he's expecting a pitch inside and try to jack it out. He's got power. Most of the time, though, he's falling away trying to slap it into left field. And Ichiro is 4 for 12 with a home run against Mo. Pitches inside. The 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1. Mariano came up to the Yankees in '95. He helped them in their surge to get a wild card and helped them reach the American League Division playoffs as Ichiro slaps it to left for a base hit, where they, ironically enough, lost to the Seattle Mariners. Mo then was a setup man in '96 for John Wetland and took over the closer's role in '97, and he has held it ever since. But the Mariners are alive with the single by Ichiro, his first hit of the night. Here's Kyle Seager. Now, it doesn't seem that this 600 number has the same cachet as other historic numbers in baseball, like 300 wins and 3,000 hits. And I just don't know if people grasp the importance of the save yet. Some people downplay it. And only now are great relievers starting to get real consideration into the Hall of Fame. Goose Gossage finally gets in. Before that, Suter and Eckersley. Mariano, many people consider the greatest closer in the history of baseball. Now, Mariano has 599 saves, but that doesn't count the number on his back, which is the 42 saves that he's had in the postseason. Those are possibly or probably the most important, and they don't go into the total number. The 0-1. 1-1.
Well, you say that Mariano downplays it, and it is about championships and winning games, but there's no doubt about it. The direct correlation of saving the game, you help win the ball game. 14 years as a closer after Wetland, average of 42 saves with 600 of them. 42 saves for 14 years in a row.
2-1. AJ would get the win, the 2-1. High fly ball, left field, and out of play. There are many who consider Mariano one of the greatest pitchers of all time. And now we've spoken about this. He's done this essentially with one pitch.
One pitch. We talked about it yesterday, Michael. He has evolved a little bit, early in his career, 95 to 97 miles an hour, cut in on the lefty, away on the righty. He's thrown more two-seamers, changed up a little bit, both sides of the plate.
Swing and a miss. And he's 1 out away from save number 600.
Well, Kyle Seager, the youngster, seeing up close Mariano Rivera. See what Russell Martin set up. He wants this to be the backdoor cutter. Outside corner, see that ball cut, but upstairs, Seager couldn't lay off.
Now, as Hoffman got to 600, he staggered there with just 10 saves in his final season. Mo is rushing through that number. The pitch is inside to Ackley, who's a tough customer at the plate. He is 1 for 3, hitting .291. Ichiro's at first with 2 outs. Yankees lead by 1. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Runner goes. Throw to second. In time. And Mo gets his 600th save. And the Yankees win the game 3-2. How about that? The final out of his 600th save, and he didn't even get it. Russell Martin got it, and now Mariano, long considered the greatest closer in the history of the game, has a number to go alongside with 600 saves, only the second man in history to reach that level.
Wow, what a way to get his 600. Ichiro running, Russell Martin firing it down there. Kind of almost a little awkward. You see him smiling at third out. What a career.
Joe Girardi right there, who was a catcher for many of his first level of saves when Mo first became the closer in '97. And he's getting hugs from his teammates and the coaches. They all appreciate what he's about. And on this Yankee championship run and all the playoffs that began in '95, I think a very solid argument could be made that he is the most valuable Yankee, that it wouldn't have been the same without him. There wouldn't have been 5 championships without him. There wouldn't have been all of those wins and all of those historic moments, because he is the game changer, Al. He's what everybody else doesn't have.
There are so many teams, Michael, that fought for figuring out who could be that consistent closer to do what Mariano has done all those years. I agree with you. I mean, there's so many great players during this Yankee run with all the championships, but where would they be? I don't know. There hasn't been a closer in the 20 years that I've been around the sport that has been at better than him. I know, Trevor Hoffman has his 601. This guy, marvel at his just consistent behavior, his delivery, his demeanor, everything.
And how great is it? The last out was recorded by Derek Jeter, who's been here for most of the saves. And here is the last out on the throw by Russell Martin.
Well, I guess Ichiro, that Russell Martin getting out of the box, quick tag. Ichiro trying to sneak it in there. Let's take a look. All right, he got him. Little curious decision here. Watch Russell Martin coming out of the chute. Saw Ichiro running. Got him.
And the bench, including Posada, caught the majority of those saves. They exult over number 600. Mariano, the legend, now has a number next to him, and he's standing with Kim Jones.
That's a very great round number, Michael. You're right about that. Mariano, how have you in the cutter been so dominant and so durable all these years?
Well, first of all, I had to thank God and my wife, my kids, everybody in my family, my teammates. And, the cutter has been a place that God gave it to me, and he knew I needed this one. To be successful for all these years, I needed that one, and thank God he gave it to me.
When you discovered that cutter by accident way back in 1997, did you have any idea what you and it would become?
Again, I didn't discover it. It was given to me by the Lord. So, I mean, it was great. I mean, I'm telling you, I had no clue. I had no clue what that pitch would have been, but I trusted.
What does number 600, and knowing you were only the second man to reach 600 saves, the other, of course, being Trevor Hoffman, what does that number and that milestone mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's a great number. Don't get me wrong. You know, I mean, as you saw, you know, the game finished by a great throw for my catcher. So, I mean, I'm not a guy that look for things like that. You know, it happens because God has blessed me in an amazing way. And, you know, I mean, I guess it's okay. But I don't look for those things. You know what I mean? It happens, and thank God for that. We have to move on. We won today. That's the most important thing.
In the bottom of the ninth, Mariano, players from both dugouts to a man were on the top rail watching you, and your teammates came out to hug you, give you handshakes, little conversation, lots of smiles. What did the reaction of your teammates, especially perhaps Jeter and Posada, mean to you in this moment here?
Well, it's a great moment. You know, I mean, it's your family. You know, I mean, I know it's not my immediate family, but definitely they are part of my family because I mean we spend so much time together. And knowing that they pulling and supporting me, I mean, like my whole family, you know, I mean, it's great. And see them on the top step, I mean, rooting, I mean, it's priceless.
Number 600, congratulations.
Thank you.
Michael, back to you.
Thank you, Kim, and congratulations to Mo. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. Mariano Rivera, number 600. He sees the play at second. Okay, that's just one more as the Yankees win 3-2. They keep their 4-game lead over the Red Sox, and Derek Jeter, who's been with Mo for most of the trip, he gives him a big hug, and then Jorge Posada makes his way out there as well. And Posada is absolutely elated that Posada got to see Mariano's 600th. A lot of hugs, a lot of thank yous. And all Yankee fans sit back and say thank you as well. 600 great moments.
The New York Yankees are great moments.
Swung on and line to left field. Down the line, it is gone. It's a walk-off by Mark Teixeira.
Fans, come on to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, September 25th for an exclusive Yankee Stadium giveaway as the Yankees recognize Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. The first 10,000 guests 14 and younger will receive a limited edition Yankee Stadium exclusive tie beanie buddy named Hope, courtesy of DKNY.
I'm feeling really good about winning Take 5 today.
You should. All you need is me. Little bit of luck.
If she has a little bit of luck, what about me?
No. That's my little bit of luck, right, baby?
Baby.
Whoa, ladies! There's enough of me to go around for everyone.
Oh, really? Well, how's that?
Well, the odds of winning Take 5 are 1 in 9. There's 100,000 winners every day.
I'm gonna take you home.
Oh, wow.
Play Take 5 from the New York Lottery. With 1 in 9 odds, all you need is a little bit of luck.
3 rows of first-class seating. Quieter than Lexus RX 350. And better highway fuel economy than any other 8-passenger crossover. In other words, kids aren't the only ones being taken to school. Now get 0% financing for 60 months, plus get $1,000 cash allowance when you purchase a 2011 Buick Enclave.
The New York Yankees are legendary.
That one's drilled deep to left field. See ya! 3,000! History with an exclamation point!
Yankee fans, 2012 season tickets are on sale now. Purchase the best available seats for the 2012 regular season and secure the opportunity to purchase the same seats for the 2011 postseason. Come join us for the chase for 28. For more information, visit Yankees.com or call 212-YANKEES.
Cool is now in jam session. Rock out with Beats Audio. Quad speakers and Blu-ray at a price that will blow you away. Only on the HP DV6T. Get it at your favorite retailer or hpdirect.com.
I've been doing this for 15 years. And when you dedicate your life to something, you expect something in return. I guess you could say this is the return. Welcome to my world, the world of Red Bull.
Mariano Rivera departs the field, gets an ovation from what's left of the crowd of 18,306, and then walks into the Yankee clubhouse for the 600th time, carrying a save, and that doesn't count the 42 that he had in the postseason, and he's hoping that there'll be more this October. Let's take a look now at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, Michael, we go back to the second inning. Leading off the second inning was Robinson Cano of Charlie Furbush. A curveball, he deposits it in right field. The bomb, his 26th home run on the year. The Yankees end up scoring another one that inning, 3 runs total for the big 3-2 win, and watching Mariano get his 600th save. That's your Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, the Yankees do win their 3rd in a row. They keep pace with 4 games ahead of the Red Sox. 3-9-0 for the Yanks, 2-6-0 for the Mariners. Time of the game, a manageable 249. Burnett the win. Furbush took the loss. Rivera his 41st save at the age of 41. 600th save overall. Cano was 2 for 4, and Burnett pitched well. A season-high 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. But this one is about Mariano Rivera. There were Yankee fans in the stands all these miles away from New York City, and Russell Martin was the one who nailed down the 600th save with a great throw to Derek Jeter. Jeter applies the tag on Ichiro, and the Yankee captain has a big smile on his face as he heads to Mariano Rivera, who has been there with him for those 5 championships along the way. Mariano's been such a big part of what the Yankees are about. 41 years old, another year left on his contract, and it doesn't seem as if the end is in sight at all. He's got 41 saves. He certainly didn't creep up on this mark. He burst through, and he's at 600 now.
You have to do a lot more than just